This video is brought to you by Sailrite. In this video, we'll be showing you how to install a prefabricated bolt rope on the foot of a sail. This prefabricated bolt rope is used along the luff or foot edges of a sail. After watching this video, you should be able to easily install this prefabricated bolt rope from Sailrite. Let's get started and show you how it's done. If your sail requires a size reduction, you can cut the old edge tape and rope off and replace it with this prefabricated bolt rope. Or if you have a roller furling genoa that you want to convert to a hank-on sail, you can cut the continuous support tape, or sometimes referred to as luff tape, off and replace it with this bolt rope for a tougher luff rope with hanks. On this main sail, we are installing the prefabricated bolt rope to the foot edge and also the luff. We're going to show installation on the sail's foot. The prefabricated bolt rope should be cut about 3 feet longer than the sail's edge length. This extra amount will be used to pull the rope to perform the appropriate rope reduction for better sail performance. To help hold the prefabricated bolt rope in place along the sail's edge, we'll use seam stick or double-sided tape on both inside edges of the folded 8-ounce Dacron tape. Angela will position the folded tape's edge so it's right up against the raw edge of the sail. Then she will baste one side in place. She is pulling off the transfer paper of the seam stick to reveal the glue about every 3 feet. Then she positions the tape and presses down firmly to bond the seam stick to the sail's edge. Once the first side of the prefabricated bolt rope is stuck to the sail, she will check her work to be sure the edge of the sail is pressed up firmly inside the folded edge of the tape. Angela uses her smartphone's flashlight to easily see through the multiple layers of fabric. If she sees a flaw, she will correct it. Now that she is happy, she will peel off the transfer paper on the opposite side of the prefabricated bolt rope and stick that side down to the sail. In some applications, the prefabricated bolt rope may be stapled to the sail's edge rather than using seam stick, but that requires a special stapler with a high-rise clincher. The high-rise clincher will allow you to staple over the bolt rope. If you are performing a lot of these applications, you may want to consider purchasing that stapler from Sailrite. It will save you time. We are ready to sew the prefabricated bolt rope to the sail's edge. We will sew 2 rows of a zigzag stitch with the Sailrite Professional 4-point long arm sewing machine. This sewing machine sews a 3-step, or sometimes called a 4-point zigzag stitch, but a standard 2-point zigzag is also acceptable. Today we're sewing this sail for an Alberg 30 with the Sailrite Professional long arm sewing machine. This sewing machine sews a 4-point zigzag stitch, which is a production time saver. It reduces the amount of zigzag stitch rows required per seam. This sewing machine has a 20.5-inch long arm, making it easy to sew larger boat sails without having to tackle scrolling up the fabric to get it under the arm of the sewing machine. This sewing machine is set up with the MCSCR power system with the Power Plus balance wheel for optimal power and slow speed control. The Sailrite Professional long arm sewing machine is available at Sailrite.com. Now that the first row of zigzag stitches are done, we just need to place another row of zigzags, which will fall a little closer to the bolt rope. Angela is using a hot knife to seal the end of the bolt rope and tape. To finish the installation along the foot edge, we need to perform a rope reduction for optimal sail performance. To accomplish this, we need to first whip the rope at one end using pre-waxed twine and a hand needle. We find it easier to use an awl to pre-punch holes in the sleeve which houses the bolt rope. These holes are spaced about a 1/2 inch away from each other. Notice that we're using 2 awls. One holds the rope in place at the extreme end until the whipping is started. We are using the premium cutting block on the back side of the sail so we can punch the awl through the sail and not damage the table below. Not that it matters for our loft, but it may for you. Next, just use pre-waxed twine and a hand needle and whip the end of the rope securely inside the sleeve. This stitch is sometimes called a sticking stitch. When the stitch is complete, just create a knot in the end of the twine, and then use a hot knife to create a button on the end of the twine. as shown here in the video. The rope is now securely fastened at this end. At the opposite end, we need to slit open the extra prefabricated bolt rope to gain access to the rope inside the sleeve. Then we'll need to mark the rope at the exiting point with a pencil. We will be pulling out 1 inch of rope per 10 feet of length. This sail at the clew corner will include an outhaul slug, so the bolt rope is being cut back to accommodate for that fact. If yours does not include an outhaul slug, your rope would end at the corner of the clew. Here is a look ahead at the outhaul slug installed. Here you can see we're marking the rope with a pencil. Now we need to pull out that 1 inch of rope per 10 foot of length. Anja is going to use an awl at the other end, but a second helper may be helpful instead of punching a hole through your table. And then just simply pull on the rope until it equals the amount required for the length of your sail. Now simply whip the rope in place at that location using the same technique as used previously. We will not be showing this whole process since it was shown earlier. That's all that's required to install this prefabricated bolt rope on the sail's luff or foot edge. Coming up next is the materials list and the tools that we use to secure this prefabricated bolt rope. Here are a few video clips of the finished sail with the prefabricated bolt rope secured and the final hardware installed. For more free videos like this, be sure to check out the Sailrite website or subscribe to the Sailrite YouTube channel today. It's your loyal patronage to Sailrite that makes these free videos available. Thanks for your loyal support.